kids feel safe, back to what we talked about initially, when kids feel safe, behaviors improve.
100%.
So what does this really mean, the idea of safety from a behavioral and emotional standpoint?
It's really that their nervous system feels regulated, that their nervous system feels safe. And for a lot of kids, that doesn't ever happen. I work with a lot of kids who've had, they've had medical issues as a child, and their parents say, I can't understand why my kid has these challenges. Like, we're a loving household. We spend a lot of time with them. We're doing all the things. And they are 100%. They're doing the most. The difference is that experience that they had as an infant or something like that have created this scenario where their nervous system is in the state of hypervigilance and where they can't ever relax and let their guard down and that sort of thing, because they're always in this constant state of almost like anxiety that's going on within their bodies.
So you're talking about a kid who may have had a birth trauma or something like that?
Yeah, it could potentially be. We have kids that have had a lot of significant environmental traumas. They've had traumatic experiences in their lifetime, whether it's simple one-time experiences, something such as, a house fire or something like that, or situations of abuse and neglect and those sorts of things. All of those things can create those sort of behavioral responses and make them feel in the state of hypervigilance all the time, where they don't sleep well. They are oftentimes craving sugar or simple carbohydrates. They're having a really hard time accessing the prefrontal cortex so they can learn in school. They have a lot of learning difficulties, and oftentimes it's more of a factor of the state that their nervous system is in than anything else. Toxic stress, those sorts of things that are impacting their bodies.
And do you see, I was also wondering about things like people have difficulty breathing and sleeping. Do you see aggressive outbursts happening when kids can't sleep properly or can't breathe properly when they sleep?
Yes. Yeah. And I will say 90% of the youth that I work with are mouth breathers. They don't breathe through their noses. They breathe through their mouth.
Yeah, that's supposed to be very problematic. We just had an expert on this year to talk about it last year, Patrick McEwen.
Okay.
Dear listener, if you want to listen to that episode talking about mouth breathing and how problematic it is.
It is a lot of challenge. Listen to that episode because it's huge. If one of the things that I tell parents, especially new parents, I'm like, work with your child to get them to breathe through their nose, especially when they're sleeping. It's critical to their blood pressure. It's critical to their ability to access blood flow in the brain. It impacts so many areas of their health and nervous system. It's unreal.
Yeah, my own daughter, we had to get her, she had sleep apnea, and we had to get her tonsils out. And it was amazing how, when she was little, and it was amazing how quickly she started learning and reading. So she just was suddenly a super learner after that. And we realized she has been hampered by this sleep issue. She hasn't been able to learn because of this. It's amazing. Okay, so we want to, I guess the listener, you may be saying, okay, well, we've got to figure out the root of this, right? The root of this feeling of not feeling safe or the nervous system overwhelmed. We want to try to understand the root of it. What happens when parents don't understand the root of it or when they're in the meantime place?
So we often work with parents on saying, okay, let's talk about what potentially goes on in the household. Is there a lot of movement? Is there a lot of sound? Is there a lot of fluorescent light exposure? Are there a lot of things that are happening that jar the nervous system? Like in the morning when they get up, are they getting up before the sun comes up and are all the lights being turned on? So, and then we back them into, okay, so what are some more gradual ways that you can help their nervous system be comfortable? Are they sleeping well at night? Okay, what's their sleep hygiene look like? Let's walk through how many times do you think they're waking up during the night and make sure that they're getting all those pieces. Are they dehydrated? I think it's about 85% of kids nowadays entering school are dehydrated when they're coming into school. And a lot of that is because one, they're not drinking a lot of water at home oftentimes, or they're drinking something else when they're coming in the morning that doesn't work to hydrate their bodies. So if you're asking a kid to function and learn and they're dehydrated, they're not going to be able to. A lot of the signs and symptoms of dehydration look like ADHD. So you've got to, you need to have a hydrated learner is even more important than having food consumption, being hydrated is critical to kids doing well at school and being able to learn and think. You can't make any of those neurohormones if your body's not producing them because it doesn't have enough water.
Wow. Okay. All right. So we're really looking at like the basics, hydration, sleep, and then can we make the home more soothing? Can we try to have some more rhythm and process to make things more soothing?